Hey guys, welcome to the Heart of David. Hope you guys are doing well this morning. I have a number of things to talk about, and so the first thing, I have to write these things down now because of my abdomen. I have a video to show you. Rather, I just want you to click in the description box. You're not going to want to miss this video. I do think it's different. I recommend you watch this video on your own, hopefully with earphones or like a big screen TV. Make sure you're by yourself so you don't have other people around you with emotions or like the world going on around you. Get alone when you watch this. Who is it? I'll get into that in a second. Second thing I wanted to talk about was, why is society going downhill? And I've said this before, I want to say it again. I'll talk about that, and I'm going to read a psalm at the end of my video, the one, Annette, that you put in the comments, Psalm 34, so I'm going to read that. And because I read that after I read that, and okay, so before I talk about those subjects, 2 videos ago, not my critiquing of that guy, just calling out that person a witchcraft. That's what that is. That's blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. That's the unforgivable sin. You know it. People ask, what is the unforgivable sin? And that's like purposeful. It's purposeful. It's like the Pharisees. Just completely against God. Anyways, and going as far as teaching against God, the God of the Bible, okay? And that person may appear as an angel of light. He may infuse many different words that seem like it, but it's not. If any man preach another gospel, let him be accursed. That thing I told you about 2 videos ago about what happened with that person, the other believer who made the coins, it worked out. And I want to say this: when you have a problem with somebody and you have evidence to the contrary, put together that evidence and place it before them. That's all I have to say about that. That's why you have to collect evidence when you have a narcissist in your life. Keep the emails, keep everything, because it might be important later. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to be like making these videos until I seem to get better throughout the day, in my other videos. Rather at night, because my pain meds are up and I'm sitting down. I make some good videos here, but not of late anyways, because of school. And speaking of school, that's what I wanted to say. I did a lot of studying. I did about 3 days of studying, and you're supposed to read like 50 to 100 pages of a book, and you're supposed to remember the stuff too, of course, which makes it more difficult. And so I go to do the exam. It's maybe 150 multiple choice questions, and there's other stuff in there too. You have to assemble, put the pieces in order, what kind of drug does this to a person, what psychiatric disorders does this belong with, and you have to mix them around. It is not easy. It just means you have to study. So I do my test, and I've done a few of them already, and it's on a study system called McGraw-Hill. So I do one yesterday, and I start at like 7 o'clock. And I know it's going to be probably no more than an hour. You know, it might have 120, 150 questions at most. When it got to an hour, I knew I had to go for a walk, and I was starting to get mad. And it just kept going and going and going and going. I must have answered 400 questions. I left. I said, I can't do this because I have to leave my home to go for my walk. And because I knew there was something wrong with the system. 400 questions. Anyhow, I came back and it was turned off. I knew it would turn off. And I don't know, just strange system. It marks you. I don't know it when you decide to cut it off. I don't know. It's a very strange system. Anyways, I was really upset last night. I still got a good mark, but I was really upset. Imagine you're in a test and you think you have 100 questions and you end up having 400. So, okay, I'm going to take a little break here, but I'm going to talk about this video. I'm going to talk about this video first, okay? And I'm going to talk about why society is going downhill. I'm not wrong. I have none of my information incorrect. Maybe a bit. Okay, when I say this, I like when my oven stops doing that. Noise really bothers me when I'm making videos. Don't cringe when I say this, because you're going to say that's worldly. But there's a channel, I'll leave it in the description box, it's called Alpha and Omega Productions. Maybe you know what it is. I haven't been too attracted to their videos lately, but they make some really good videos. They just share a lot of stuff. They put stuff together, and they also put a lot of a lot of pastors and preachers in it, and they do videos of, you know, the LGBTQ, you know, things that are going wrong in our society type stuff. In any case, I didn't expect last night's video. You know, it's pretty much at the end of my night, near the end of my dinner. This made me cry. It's hard to make one of those to make me cry. I'm sure you've seen, if you watch Christian YouTube, a lot of people make videos, and I said it's quite worldly, you know. A lot of people with high subs just focus on Hollywood and all that type of stuff. But a lot of people have been focusing on Joe Rogan, okay? And I do believe, I used to watch a Joe Rogan show a long time ago, maybe 5 years ago. But it's impossible to miss his clips when you watch Christian YouTube videos, because a lot of people talk about that. And I have to admit, I believe in my heart that God and people's prayers, because of his platform, have put people in front of him. Because I believe it's a platform for men. It's for everyone. I like Joe because, from what I've seen, remember he was going to interview Kamala Harris? He wasn't going to, he had no motives. Joe Rogan had no motives. I like him. Like, you know, he's that type of person. This is not what I'm doing. Respecter of persons. This has nothing to do with that. He gives everyone a fair chance, is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter who it is. So when he has people talking about Christianity, he doesn't just shrug it away. And so there's been an evolution. You know, it starts off with, you know, the New Testament's BS because Constantine started it and stuff, when, you know, he's just misguided. And from all the things that are happening in our society, he sees it. We all see it. But I do see, you know, like, he lived in California, he sees all the stuff that's happening there, he knows. He knows something's up. He's on a quest for truth. I believe that wholeheartedly, and I believe he's got a good heart. So I believe, I've seen it, the people that have been put in front of him. And listen to this. I told you in my videos, I said, I'm not bragging, I'm just saying, this is why you should call out false people. I called out Billy Carson. I believe I was the first one to do it on video because there were no other videos. Now, he came strong against me. You can check out, you can look back far in my videos. I just didn't respond at all because it was all knowledge. And the next thing you know, he fell. Right? He goes on Joe Rogan soon after, and then he goes on Patrick Bet-David's Valuetainment. I just thought it was like, I can't believe these people can't see through this guy. In any case, so that happened, and Joe knew it, and he said that guy got caught with his pants down. The next person was the person who helped bring him down, which was that Wesley Huff guy, because he disputed him about whatever was the Codex Sinaiticus, pointing out that everything you're saying is wrong, man. In any case, it opened a door to Wesley Huff. I've seen videos where, I'm watching Joe. This isn't about Joe, okay? Pray for Joe. Yes, it's also for Joe, but my whole point here is because he's got, even though his platform may say 13 million, I believe it's a lot more than that, people all over the world. So it represents a lot of souls that could be saved because people listen to him. And so last night's one was Mel Gibson. It was put up in this. Mel Gibson is being interviewed while his house is literally burning down in Hollywood or LA, wherever it is, Palisades. Because in the interview, his son had messaged him right before and said it's in our neighborhood. Anyways, his house burned down, so it was a good interview. Mel Gibson did a great job on describing God. Maybe not in the way that you and I know, but pretty good. Could have said more about the Catholic system, but in any case, and he knows it's dark. He brought Joe to tears. A tear. As he's talking about Jesus Christ's resurrection, a tear starts coming down his eye. Anyways, and I just realized when I saw that, he was so open to the Gospels. You could just tell in that video, he wanted to know the truth. We all just want to know the truth. We all want to know it. We don't want to be BS'd about anything. And this world is going downhill, and I'm going to describe that. So please watch the video. That's why I say watch it alone, because it doesn't hold the same power when you have people yelling around you. Give me a sec. Isn't it funny that a lot of Christians, ex-Christians, deconstructionalists, they still seem to have this hate for God. That's obvious. That it really shows. Like in that morgue guy, or what's his name, Yuval Noah Harari. It's the same thing. Just focuses on not the God of the Bible. It's like you can't live up to that standard. That's why you can't accept the truth. So I don't see, I'm sure there are videos, but how many people do you see talking about this specific subject in depth? In a I'm not going to say religious, and a godly concept. I'm having a lot of trouble with my stomach right now. I'm a little better, but I'm still suffering with kidney colic. So when I speak, it's like my breath is taken away from me. It's really hard, man. It's really hard. I could express myself so much better if these things just were not happening in my life. It's hard to go through. It's really tough. But you know, like, I want to get this kind of stuff out. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to pace. Let's take an honest look. At what society is like right now and what has happened. You can go look it up, the official date that they know of when social media really took off. I suppose it would be YouTube. I think Facebook was even before that, but what I mean is like videos, seeing people, spreading information. You know, say whatever you want. It began then. I know that ever since that point, our society has gone downhill. What was it? A year after that, was it 2011 or 2014, the Arab Spring? It's probably 2014, not long after. Because of Facebook, they were able to, Facebook and YouTube, they wanted to shut it down in those countries. And they blamed them because of it for the spread of, you know, Muammar Gaddafi going downhill and all these other countries seemingly following. It was social media. It was it was like a wildfire. That's what it was. And people knew. You know, they're asking Zuckerberg to take it down. It's a weapon that could be more powerful than an atomic bomb. A single atomic bomb. For the devastation that it can cause just from single words from one person in one country to another. This is Babylon. We have now. You wonder about what is the prince of the power of the air? What does that even mean? I believe what Paul is describing is the air that surrounds us. We hear. We hear through the air. Everything happens through the air. He's not prince of the power of the water. He is the prince of this world. He is the dark prince of this world. God is still in control, but he usurped Adam because Adam chose to eat of the tree after Eve. I believe social media is the literal devil. It is a beast. So what has it done? What does it do? I've spoken about this in depth I remember when I started to see I remember seeing a satellite phone, probably in 1990. My friend's dad had it, and those were extremely expensive. Phone call would be hundreds of dollars, I believe, or something like that. And when I saw the first mass-produced cell phone, flip phones, I knew something right there. I knew that was the end of privacy. And I'm a type of person who values privacy. I'm like, like whenever we go out, like this is gonna ruin everything. So when I'm having a good conversation with you, or when I'm walking in the woods with you, you're gonna open your phone and you're gonna do that. I remember hearing people's phones going off, beepers going off in funerals. That was before social media. Just absolutely rude. People don't care. I think the world was, you're going to say still wasn't doing that well. People were having kids. People were not nearly as poor as today. They didn't have to work second and third jobs and all that type of stuff. There were job opportunities. There wasn't things like woke type stuff. We were still on a normal level. You could argue with a lot of things. You could say the economy and stuff like this went up and down. This is the type of stuff that happens anyways. Pardon me. So when you give people the opportunity to make videos on TikTok and YouTube and do whatever they want, say whatever they want, you start to develop a Babylonian system where all of a sudden you don't have small towns. You start to learn everything about everyone in the next community, the next city, the next country. It was never meant to be that way. You're going to say, well, of course, well, look, here we are, right? It's not the way God wants it, right? Did God want Babel? No. He confused their language because of it. Because he said when they get together, this is what they do. And of course, there's a lot more to that. I enjoyed the internet. When there were the first chat rooms, I was in the first chat rooms. They were funny, man. You didn't know, you had to ask people where they were from, and it was like MSN. It'd be like a big chat room, and you click over to another room in I don't know. Anyways, then obviously Facebook. What these things do is they start to warp ideas, truths. They start to take the imagination away, the romanticism of a man and a woman, the romanticism of adventure inside your own city, your own country, right? It's cool knowing that you can talk to someone across the world and you can meet people, you can marry them, you can do whatever. But I just never meant to be that way. Many shall travel to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. What does knowledge do to a person? It just makes them, I don't know. People just aren't content. Where did those times go when it was a lot more simpler, and like families were together, and like, yeah, that type of thing. Our world is supposed to be easier because of all these things, but it's made it worse. There's cancer out there. It's a cancer. Can you imagine? So everyone who's on social media has an addiction. It's a fact. If you are, your likes, your all that type of, if you're addicted and you can't stop using Facebook, you have a real, true physiological addiction. It's a psychological dependence where you just cannot not go on there. You're either seeking validation, you like the likes, you like scrolling, and I know for a fact through my studies, and I knew it before my studies, that it said that going on there and getting a single like when you see that is equivalent to 400 units of dopamine in your brain, which is equal on par with taking a sniff of cocaine, a line of cocaine. If that's not crazy, I don't know what is. it's taken so long for countries to catch on, because you could go across, especially the United States. It's North America that's the worst. Now, I don't know how much I can speak about Europe. The UK, yes. I don't know about France. In any case, it's North America that's horrific. It's just, especially the States. You can go around asking questions now. What state is this? What country is this? And they don't know. The grade levels have gone down tremendously for reading comprehension, math skills, all that stuff. It's bad. People parroting the same things on the internet. You don't need to go to school these days and all that type of stuff. Man, you have no idea. School will, there's a lot of stuff in school that we don't need, but there's an idea, there's a good reason to go into school. Don't ever listen to that. If you want to quit your high school, let's see what happens. If you're successful, I'm glad for you. But if you don't get your GED, let's see what happens. It's warping young minds, and I don't speak just to the youth. This is old people as well. It's all people. Ideologies are spread like I said, like cancer. This channel is not that. This channel is truth. This channel is about God. And I'm telling you what's happening in society. Yes, you can use the internet as a good tool to study, to look at good things. Are you furthering your life? TV, internet use, porn use. You've seen the numbers, man. It's like how many hours a day do kids are they on the internet or looking on their phones and scrolling? I knew these numbers a long time ago just for TV. People are wasting half their life staring at a television screen. And that's another thing. Hollywood, which basically just burned down, is the purveyor of all the trash that's on the TV. It's made our minds into mush. What is it? It's Hollywood is holy wood, which means, I believe the meaning is witch's spell. Do you know that? Hollywood, go look at it. It's really holy wood. In any case, people wouldn't know that until the very end. It's made our society into a reward-based system. I need it now. No wonder people have ADHD, and there's a lot of mental illness now. I believe because of the internet. How many suicides by bullying and monitoring other people? Listen, I go through that too. It gives a hand to exponentially to narcissists who can use them as weapons. I can't wait till that day is done. And I can't wait for the judgment for those types of people. Propaganda. So I'm just going to finish. I could go on and on and on and on. Countries fighting with each other, and this Republican and this Democrat, this liberal, this conservative, back and forth. It's made our society very sick. I pulled myself from TV and movies at least, 10 years ago. It made my life a lot better. And how long did it take? I believe the beginning of the internet was okay. But when it started to get into, I can see you, all I have to do is do a video and hit upload, put a description in, and that's it. I can fool people, I can sexualize people, I can push out propaganda, I can push out lies, hate, deceit, whatever you want to call it. I believe Paul the Apostle saw this day. I believe Daniel saw this day. That's what I have to say. I feel very strongly about it. Anyways, guys, I hope you watch a video. Actually, I'm not done. I'm going to read Psalm 34. So everything I just said, do you hear other people talking about? It's a wonder why the Christian community doesn't say more about it. Just let me pace and then I'll do this. And then I'm doing an exam again. Not an exam, but like they're big tests, man. And the question is, why does it take so long for people to recognize this? I hate to say it, but how stupid, how untrustworthy our systems are. I believe they knew it. They knew it, but they didn't do anything about it. They're starting to, but meanwhile, who is benefiting the most? Well, we know the people who are benefiting, who are making the money. And I think this is one of the things that they said with TikTok. They want our children stupid. China does. They do. They're being smart. They're getting their people trained over here in our universities, both Canada and the States, and India, and they're going back and we're losing them. It's not like that in their country, not like this. People can't pass basic tests anymore. Hey, what's this? What's that? Like, look at this. Man, like, that's the way it is. I may sound to you strict. I am a strict person to myself, to keep myself well, because I have to in my life with all the pain disorders that I have, but it's a good way to live. The happiness of those who trust in the Lord. A Psalm of David when he pretended madness before Abimelech. Should I start drilling? Who drove him away and he departed. So I'll tell you the verse that Annette was pointing out. And so, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make its boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear of it and be glad. O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked to him and were radiant, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried out, and the Lord heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him. Remember the story of Elijah and the horses, or was that Elisha? That was Elisha. I can't remember. I always get that one mixed up. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in him. Oh, fear the Lord. David knew Jesus Christ. He knew that there was another. He knew what was coming. Oh, fear the Lord, you his saints. There is no want to those who fear him. I can't, like, the young lions lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Come, you children, listen to me. I'll teach you the fear of the Lord. Who is a man who desires life and loves many days that he may see good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil. Good psalm, by the way, Annette. To cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. I think that's what you were pointing out to me. But I have to go back and look. But the Lord is near those who have a broken heart, and saves such as have a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. That may be what you said. It's one of those. He guards all his bones. Not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and those who hate the righteous shall be condemned. The Lord redeems the soul of his servants. Man, and none of those who trust in him shall be condemned. Great psalm in that, because I haven't heard that one in a long, long time. I don't really read the Psalms. Strangely enough, I know a lot of them, but yeah, great psalm. So I guess David wrote that. So this is when he pretended madness before Abimelech. Maybe he felt a little bit ashamed or something from what he did. Remember, he had to drool. He was afraid, right? Rightly so, because he was right with the Philistines when Saul was after him. Anyways, guys, gotta get along with my day. So I hope this has edified you in some way. It's unfortunate what connectivity has done, and what I meant to say is, look at the short work it's done on people. What an experiment. The most horrific experiment in history.